Please welcome former Navy SEAL and Texas Representative Dan Crenshaw.
Don't tread on me. I'm just living my life. I'm not lying, and I'm not trying to take care of you.
This is going to be a fun crowd. Love you guys. What a great day for this. Texas Reloaded, that's right. You guys been having fun? We got a lot to talk about. I wrote a speech for you guys. But first I want to say something. Everybody, I hope you're praying for our president right now. He will get through this. He is strong. It's been a strange year, to say the least. Started off pretty good. All right, we were taking out some Iranian terrorists. That partisan impeachment failed. And we had the best economy in decades. And things got a little strange. Our world became COVID, Tiger King, and toilet paper memes. Well, I'm going to get to cancel culture. Aunt Jemima got canceled. Paw Patrol got canceled. Even the murder hornets decided to leave because they saw what was going on in Chaz in Portland. And everybody's like, what happened to the murder hornets? And the radical left proved that there was no lie they won't tell, no building they won't burn, no founding father they will not topple in order to gain power. And America finds herself in a hostage situation where the radical left will not let up. They will not stop the violence until they get the power they crave. And this is what they mean by no justice, no peace. They don't actually mean justice, they mean power. They mean if you don't give us power, we won't give you peace. And we will never let them have it. And of course, we got a presidential election to win. And Joe Biden, in his own words, is gunning to be the most progressive candidate in history. And let's be crystal clear about something. This is not the Democratic Party you once knew. Imagine the following quotes said by a modern Democrat. Quote, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. Or how about this one? The same revolutionary beliefs for which our forebears fought are still at issue around the globe. The belief that the rights of man come not from the generosity of the state, but from the hand of God. That's JFK. He's a great conservative. Democrats cannot say these words because they haven't believed them for decades. And that is why you are walking away. You don't have to take my word for it. You can just listen to what the Democrats are saying. Take them at their word. This is a radical new Democrat party that tramples over liberalism and embraces Marxism. This is a party that cannot say one bad thing about Antifa militants terrorizing our cities, but finds ample time to degrade our own flag and anthem. This is a party that makes excuses for China, encourages rioting, but shuts down your churches. It allows the mob into your neighborhood, but confiscates your guns if you dare to defend yourself. And over the past few years, I've given a lot of talks about the dangers and origins of socialism. I often point out that the advocates for the radical left attack America herself. The very idea of America is toxic to them. After all, if you're predisposed to see all issues through the lens of oppressors and victims, then it's no surprise that the radicals see America herself as the ultimate oppressor. Their Marxist teachers and Soviet propagandists taught them well. They've been doing it for a long time. But even I could not predict how the movement of anti-Americanism would become so in vogue, so stylish, so casually accepted by large swaths of our society, and ultimately by a major political party. They can never seem to say one good thing about the country that they actually live in. And theirs is the politics of resentment, of fear. It's of group power identity politics. It's a vision where all problems must be viewed through the lens of power and oppression. It's an ideology that only survives if it convinces you that everything around you is unjust, in crisis, even evil. Because how else can you actually get someone to believe that in the most prosperous times in American history and world history, that you need a fiery revolution where we have to tear it all down and start anew? And it's seductive. It's seductive. It makes young people think that there's some secret that they were unaware of, some secret history of why America is evil that they weren't being told. And it's a seductive ideology for younger, kind-hearted liberals who do desire to fight against injustice. But then the term itself becomes redefined. Justice, according to the woke progressive, comes to mean power over others, as opposed to its true definition, protecting the rights of individuals, our life, our liberty, our property. They say they want to fight inequality, but then they veer towards radicalism again. Instead of being about helping the poor rise up, it becomes about punishing those who are successful. Ultimately, it's just the politics of gaining control. And the quest for power has serious policy consequences, pretty radical ones. Again, we don't need to guess. We can just listen. They talk about it. When Democrats say they want to defund the police, I take them at their word. In Democrat cities like Minneapolis, New York, Portland, Los Angeles, Austin have all taken what started as a pretty radical slogan and actually made it into policy. Who does this hurt? It hurts communities of color the most. The chaos and rising crime across our major cities is the result of Democrat governance playing out right before our eyes. It's defund the police, it's encourage the mob, and watch our communities be torn apart. They talk about dismantling the system. Again, we should take them at their word. And what is the system they refer to? It's our cultural institutions, it's our economy, and it's our republic. They attack our culture of inalienable rights by canceling free speech and opening up our churches to taxation from the federal government. All the things you thought were fine, family, church, maple syrup, the national anthem, they're rendered unacceptable by these new postmodernists. All right, I don't want to start a fight about maple syrup, guys. I've seen like there's like Vermont and Canadian. It's not the point. They want to. You guys are riled up today. The Democrats want to raise middle-class taxes. $4 trillion worth. They want to punish small businesses for their success and raise your electricity bills by destroying our energy sector. Popular magazines like Teen Vogue, they teach our kids that it isn't enough to defund the police. We also have to abolish the oppressive system of private property rights. Again, we just listen to them. Listen to what they say. They want to remove the foundations of our republic by packing the Supreme Court, making D.C. a state, abolishing the Electoral College, eliminating the filibuster. They stand for pure majoritarian rule. 51% of the population telling the other 49% what to do. That's not unity, that's divisiveness. It's tyranny of the majority. Our founders knew better. And what's on the other side of this revolution that they want so bad, this resistance they're always talking about? It's chaos. It's chaos. It's destruction in the wake of this ever futile search for some kind of progressive utopia. They have no idea why anything works, where our prosperity came from, or how to create and build. They seek to tear down things they themselves cannot build. They seek to set our house on fire while we are all still inside. But we have a different vision. And if we're going to talk about walking away, then we also have to talk about what we're walking towards. We don't have to look far to find it. Maybe you have a penny in your pocket. It's one of my favorite coins. Okay. I wasn't sure where you were going with that, but thank you. I like the penny because it's got our first Republican president on it, Abraham Lincoln. There's a lot of symbology in the penny. It's very carefully designed. The Republican president should remind us that Republicans have always been on the right side of history. We were the ones that fought against slavery. We were the ones that freed jailed journalists after Woodrow Wilson's regime jailed them. We were the ones that overwhelmingly voted for the Civil Rights Act while Democrats were split. Republicans have always been on the right side of history. We should be on offense, not defense. But there's more to the coin that I like to talk about. It's the smallest unit of currency. Just like Western civilization figured out that the individual reigns supreme, the individual is divine. For centuries and centuries, we've been grouping people into, whatever it was, skin color, religion, or gender, and saying, you vote this way, or your interests are because of this. It's tribalism, caused warfare, caused division. It was only when we've discovered that the content of your character matters the most that we were able to rise up above the ashes. In the last few hundred years, we've prospered as a human race more than ever over thousands of years. It's been exponential because we figured out that single truth. There's more on the penny. E pluribus unum. This is what our country is founded on. Again, not group-on-group identity politics, but of many one. One nation under God. It says something else on our coins, liberty. We stand for liberty. Not asking the government to do everything for us, but liberty, the right to pursue our happiness. Written in the Declaration of Independence, the document that tells us why government exists. But you can't have liberty if you're not a good moral people. So what else does the penny say? It says, in God we trust. Because our morality comes from somewhere bigger than ourselves. You don't just get to make it up. Conservatism is gratitude. It's gratitude for the things that work. Our culture, economics, and political structure. American culture means something. We're personally responsible. We're mentally tough. We believe virtue is not an opinion, but comes from God. We have a culture of rights, where free speech must be protected, not questioned. We believe liberty is non-negotiable. The false premises from clever politicians will not trick us into trading our freedom for a false sense of security. We believe in nationhood and the culture of Americanism, where we stand for the flag. We throw a parade on the 4th of July. You speak up at your local town hall. You gather at the National Mall. And you learn the history of Old Glory and eat a hot dog at a ball game. Americanism means something. And we stand for an economic system that gives everybody the best possible chance at success. We protect personal property, intellectual property. We make it easier to start your business, not harder. And as the Democrats have transformed, so have we. We're now the party of the American worker, of American prosperity. We know that unity is found in a common love of Americanism, not in forcing each other to live under the rules of a slim majority. Our Constitution protects disagreement, the ability to live as we wish and self-govern, not top-down decisions forced down from Washington. And we'll renew this belief that our country's story is one of unprecedented posterity and freedom and success. And it's because of the bedrock of ideals upon which America was founded. We're the party that will teach the next generation to love America and be proud of their country rather than ashamed of it. So this is our job. It's our duty. And our calling between now and November to tell the right story of America and show the American family, the American worker, and every American patriot that this will be their century. And we will not be bullied into submission by radical revolutionaries. We will not cede our leadership role to the Chinese. We will not tear our country apart out of some misplaced guilt. That's not what a strong people do, and a strong people we are. The story of America, the story of this country is one of an enduring struggle as we struggle to live up to the ideals of 1776. We aren't done. We have work to do, and that's good. We like work. We're pioneers. We always have been. As Reagan said, we do have a rendezvous with destiny. And that destiny, it's the shining light on the hill. It's the number one destination for all freedom-loving people who desire to embrace Americanism as their own. And dreams are made here. Happiness is pursued. No one will do it for you. It's up to you. And that's just the way we like it. And this century will be about guaranteeing that opportunity, protecting your right to pursue your happiness. I'll tell you what, it's impossible not to be proud of this country. It's impossible not to love it. It's impossible not to believe in it. Many try. Many try to tear it down from within, but it doesn't matter because there's too many of us who will fight and who love this place. And we know a certain truth. And that truth is this country is built on the greatest ideas the world has ever known. And since the rise of America as the world power, human prosperity has flourished. It was America that led to the defeat of Nazi Germany and Imperial Japan. It was America that rebuilt a war-torn Europe and Asia. It is America that has underwritten global security for free trade and commerce. It is America that has led the world in innovation. From energy to advanced computing to the internet. And we shared that technology with the world. It is American innovation that put a man on the moon, pioneered manned flight, led to healthcare breakthroughs like the first organ transplant, the MRI, the human genome map. It was America's unwavering defense of freedom and human rights that prevented the scourge of communism from becoming a global power. This is our story. Like many stories, it's filled with villains, heroes, dark times, proud victories, sadness, overwhelming joy, failures, and triumphs. It's a human story, after all. And it carries with it all the inescapable imperfections of the human condition. But just as your story does not end with your sufferings or your failings, neither does ours. America is a fabric. It's woven from the threads of human history's most noble achievements and greatest ideas. The American system of government, the first to enshrine natural rights, liberty, and equality. It's a pinnacle of human enlightenment, born from thousands of years of civic experimentation and ancient wisdom. The American spirit is a product of the oldest and most important virtues: self-sacrifice, courage, tolerance, love of country, grace, and passion for human achievement. And these foundations have underwritten our great American story. It's a story with a consistent, enduring creed: fortitude. And we can decide right now that American greatness will not be rejected nor squandered. As the American founding was grounded in individual liberty, so will be our future. And our rediscovery of our own strength, it must be an endeavor undertaken by each and every one of us. It's our path. It is what we are walking towards. We will not be bought off by the false promises of authoritarians. We will not be demoralized by those who tell us to hate our country. We will walk with pride and with love and with patriotism, and we will win. God bless you. God bless this great country. Go out there and tell the great American story. Thank you.